bum 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 ba-da-da-bup, ba-da-ba-bup, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bup. Um, Someone here said volcano eruption. That sounds gross. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, you should be able to hear me. Hi, everybody. Let me know if I am live. Oh, that was the wrong note. Sorry about that. Am I live? Am I here? Can hear you. Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. So what we're doing is I have a rack back there, modular rack, for live music. And I just put out a little like test video for patrons of me doing my first performance with it. It's like dub and ambient oriented techno. And what I want to do is try and come up with some custom samples for the bitbox I'm using over there, which is doing a bunch of like pads and other things. So I want to make those pad samples so I don't have to like rely on other people's pad samples. So I also just wanted to like, ooh, that was clippy. I also just wanted to hang out a little bit and chat with everybody. Because I don't know, I've been feeling kind of disconnected lately. We'll be doing this until 10 o'clock, at which point the IntelliGel premiere for their new module will happen, and I'm supposed to be over there. So maybe I'll go over there and we can hang out while that happens if you want to. And then my IntelliGel Swells videos come out as well after that. So it's a busy day on youtube.com. So this is going to be very, very chill. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find sounds. Hi, Josh. Hi, Kieran. I'm going to find sounds that I like, and I'm going to sample them, and that's pretty much it. We'll go at 130 BPM, though I'm probably not going to really like... Probably not really going to like do pitch-based stuff. Excuse me, tempo-based stuff. That's really good. Do I need that long of a reverb, though? What the hell is inversions? Mix time. Oh, that's literally the entire reverb. We don't need that much. Oh, actually we do. So this is pretty much it. This is what we're going to be doing. If I find a sound I like, I will record it. So I'm going to save this. We'll go to... oh, yeah, and I'm answering music production questions. So if you have any music production questions, lay them on me. I'll be sure to remind people as we go. So this is sample and preset projects. Oh, thank you, Quantum. You're awesome, too. Quantum Sheep. I said Quantum Shep. That is quite a different animal. Quantum Sheep is pretty cool. You're in like a complete superposition. So this will be modular sample recording session. We'll say session. There we go. Okay, great. So I do like this airflow swells thing. I'm going to take the attack down maybe. It's very long. Okay, cool. So we'll do that. That is a C, D, and G. And we'll do another one. So we'll go ahead and just... Boop. Get over there. Get over there. Cool. So we will Control B that. Control B is the greatest thing that that Ableton has ever done. It lets you immediately bounce your thing to audio. So this is airflow swells C Just C. We don't even have to say C minor or C major. It's just C. And then we're going to do one on E flat. So Digitact plus X, one synth, one sampler. So you're saying that you're asking if you got a Digitact and one synth, what would that synth be? Or are you saying Digitact plus a synth and a sampler? And which Digitact? Let me know those things and I'll answer your question. Booty boop. So this is Airflow Swells E flat. What other key do we want to do one in? Let's do one in A. A. Is that A? Yeah. So the way I have these, I'm going to do a video about this, but the way that I have these organized on my sampler over there, the bitbox, is that I have it by key. So I can just know that if I want to change keys, I can go into a folder and pick a different key, and I just have that. So it's not, oh, don't do that. Airflow Swells. This is A, right? Yeah. Okay. Questions. Digitact Mark 1 plus which synth as a minimal setup? Okay. So what do you want to play that synth live? You know, like you have a couple options there. You have 8 tracks of what do you call it? 8 tracks of MIDI sequencing on the Digitact 1, which is a lot. So you could get something multi-timbral like the Blofeld, or some other small multi-timbral synth, but they're not really that fun to use. So depending on what kind of music you're making, you might want to get like a mono synth, like a 303 or something like that. That could be a lot of fun. You know, the Behringer 303 apparently is actually pretty good. Other than that, I think the if you want something with more diversity and like polyphony, I personally think that the Mini Freak is a really fantastic synth, really, really good. So, mono synth is good. Mini Freak, it really depends on what kind of music you want to make. A lot of my songs are comprised of less than 12 or so tracks, and I keep seeing projects online with dozens of tracks, and you're doing it wrong? No, not at all. Don't ever compare yourself to other people. Comparing is not fun. What you do want to do, that's cool. That's really minimal. So the reason that you might see a lot of tracks on something is because there could be a lot of layers. There could be a lot of like they could be not doing a good job like managing their track count. So like a lot of producers these days will put like all of their hits on different tracks in audio, as opposed to like putting them into like a single drum rack or something like that. Layering can make a big difference. So if you're doing vocals, you're going to have tons of tracks. If you're you know doing layering correctly, or not correctly, if you're doing a lot of layering, it really depends on the kind of music. Really what you're looking for with why you're using a track, or why you might have a bunch of tracks, is because those tracks do something important to your piece of music. So you can have a really fantastic track with like 6 tracks. Like you can have an amazing track with 1 stereo track if you're using like, you know, a hardware sampler or something like that. Track count doesn't really matter. It's what those tracks are that matters. Okay. Let me get one of these things down, and then I'll answer the MPC question. I like that quite a bit. Let's do that. That's it. That's great. So we'll do this one at, this is angelic transformations. Ooh, TF. We got TF in here. Angelic I'll just call it angelic TF. C. Let's do this again at different three different keys. So this will be angelic TF in E flat. I can just copy this, right? Yeah. We're all about efficiency here at Red Means Recording. We don't like wasting time on things like thinking or typing. Imagine. And this would be angelic TF at A. If I'm going to TF, I don't think I want to turn into an angel. That would be pretty dumb. Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, question about MPCs. I got a question as well. What are your experiences with the newer Akai MPCs? Nothing. I've never used an MPC. It's one of my biggest blind spots. Never used it. I am very curious about the MPC sample. I think it looks really, really good for its price point, but I've never used an MPC. Sorry. How are you feeling about Electron being bought up by a private equity? I don't feel anything. I said this on social media. There's nothing to get mad about. Nothing's happened. If you own an Electron device, it still works exactly as it did when you bought it. And you should love it and use it and make music. And it does not matter that it was bought out by private equity. If something happens down the line and like it negatively impacts you, then be mad. But I think that the consternation, the like really just like freaking out, sky is falling stuff that people are doing around it is unwarranted. And it happens all the time. Like the Reddit thread on this and the Electronauts thread on this were all really just, I just thought they were really silly. So just enjoy the gear that you have. You bought it. It makes music. My Digitact 1 still makes music. Like anybody freaking out about it and not just focusing on like what they have and enjoying making music, I think is more concerned about consumerism than they are about the device they have. And I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying that like the complaints that I've seen, everybody wants new firmware updates. Everybody wants new devices. They are completely unhappy with the device that they have for some reason. And my God, like, I don't know what happened, but like Electronauts people, they have like they're in like an abusive relationship with Electron. Like they will buy everything that comes out for them, but they will like bitch and moan about it for the entirety. No matter how many firmware updates it gets, no matter what, they are just chronically unhappy. Don't be like that, okay? Don't be like that. Okay, a follow-up MPC question. Do you have experiences with the Key 37? I'm new to the MPC ecosystem and just got the Key, the Key 37? MPC Key. No, I don't have any experience with that. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I do not have any MPC experience. Okay, I am sampling for my modular station back there. I'm making samples for that. What's this sound like? That's too long. I don't have time for that. Ooh, that's cool. Let's do that. That's good as hell. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Insinuating a chord progression is a pretty dangerous thing to do in this kind of thing, but I think that this sounds really good, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Like, basically, you're locking yourself into a certain experience. Harmonically, you're putting a bunch of harmonic complications. So I like this first part here, but the second part needs to get changed. I'm not sure if I want A at that last part. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, let's go to B there instead. So this would be a D. A D. Chords after dark. I'm so funny. I'm so funny. All right, is that it? Yeah, I fuck with that. Long. So this is Blurry Gleam in C. And we'll go ahead and do this in E flat. You know, any time that you can spend making your own samples for your hardware stuff is great, because then you kind of know exactly what you're getting into. I have a shit ton of whoops, no, don't do that. I have a shit ton of samples over there, but you know, I don't know what they all sound like, so I can accidentally like pick something in the moment that doesn't really work well for me, and that's a bummer. Do we want this to go up to A? Let's see, is that too high? Is that too high? Let's find out. Yeah, that's too high. The rack that I'm making these for is like dub techno and minimal techno, but I want to be able to do like a bunch of different types of music on it. So, you know, this might be something for a down tempo set. So B. Doing A minor. Doing a few keys means that you're pretty close to transposing to like almost every key that exists. You know, like I can put these up and down a semitone and get pretty much anywhere pretty fast, which is important. Oh, that's cool. It's a little too amorphous for my taste for what we're doing now. Wow, that's beautiful. Jesus. So, Requiemization asked, when you make a set of samples like this, do you typically stick to one key? I will write typically in C, and as you can see, I'm I'm transposing them up and down a little bit to get 3 variations of each. C is a great key for me to write in, but it's a really bad key to write dance music in, because the C, I'll show you real quick, actually. I'll show you what I mean. This is something I think about a lot. I think about this all the time. So let's go into instruments, and I will grab an analog. And then I will also grab a EQ8. Omnisphere. Get out of here. Okay, so let's make this a single sine wave, no filter, amp, full sustain. So when you're writing dance music, oh, can't I hear that? All right, there we go. You want to, good morning, the Lichtenberg Figure Zero. When you're writing dance music, you want to maximize your bass to an extent, right? So this is a C1, and we're at 65.7 hertz. Now, my kick is generally going to smack somewhere around here. For scale, this is 20 hertz right here, so anything below this doesn't really exist for us. But anything like from here to here is relatively like we're not going to hear it much, but their kick is generally going to smack down here in the 45s to maybe 35s. So here we have this sine wave here at C1, which is not as low as our kick. Our kick is going to be lower than that. So our kick's going to have a place in the super subs where we want to like maximize our sub. But now you can see that our C1 doesn't. And if I take this down an octave, you'll notice I'm at like 65 or 66 hertz right now. We get that. Can you hear that? At 32 hertz? Because while I can hear it, I'm really surprised that these open headphones actually reproduce that. It's really not as like legible as, let's say, that. So writing in C means you have two choices. No sub bass really, and then like almost like you can't hear it in headphone sub bass. So even just going up to E is better. So E, F, G, A. I'd say any of those notes right there are better to probably write in. Though I have surprisingly run into not a insubstantial amount of drum and bass written in C, and so I'm obviously not fully versed on exactly what's going on, but compared to how on almost all of my headphones that I own, I can hear above C better. Then I just have come to the assumption that like since C is like so low that I should like write in a higher key. Oh, I like that. That's moody. Oh, too many. Too many notes. Yeah, let's put these in a group. Dude. So yeah, I'm writing in C, but I'm making other versions, and I can always, transpose these up or down a bit if I need to. So I'm going to turn this group off. There we go. Bye, Yumplock. That's really cool. I'm sorry that we hurt your head. Hopefully you'll be able to come back from this assault on your person. We're not here to assault people. That's not what we're about here at Red Beans Recording Incorporated. This is Circle of Life. C min. Am I putting a space there? I am. So now I'll take this and I will go up to E flat. And I will go boop. I love bouncing arrangement so much. It's an amazing, amazing tool that we have access to in Ableton. It makes this kind of iteration really, really great. E flat min. The bass doesn't have to hit the root note? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, buddy? I think it does. Oops, why did I do that? This needs to go down to A. Ooh. You guys can go down here. Oh yeah, this is so good. Are you making a sample pack right now? I am making a bunch of atmospheric pad sounds for my modular rack that I have built back here. I can show you. It's that one back there. I've done a few videos on my modular channel of performances, techno performances. Really like doing live techno performances. And so it's one of those things I'm always kind of like working towards. And so I have this big, nice rack that I bought from Amalgamod in Australia, I think. I'm not sure where they are. And so one of the channels on the sampler that I have over there, I use the Bitbox, and on that Bitbox, I use a channel for samples, and those samples are pads and stuff. So I'm making some of my own. What modules did you order? Hi, Blue Nautilus. Whoa, that's cool. Whoa. That's really cool, but I don't think I'm gonna do. Ooh, it's D50 soundtrack. Yeah, yeah, boy. Hi, Dion. I am still using the micro. I've like gone back and forth on getting the bigger one, but I'm still just using the same micro. So every sampler in Kiki asked, how do you like the Bitbox compared to other samplers? I've got the Rample and love it outside of having to remember what's in each folder. Yeah, so each sample playback device that I have access to has its own ups and downs. You know, for drums, the VPM EQD is still super my favorite. And just because like every bank you just go like and you've got access to a shit ton of samples. I would love a VPM EQD with stereo samples and like 6 channels exactly that same way. The Bitbox I thought I was going to dislike because you have to load each cell. But I don't feel that way anymore. I think the Bitbox is fantastic. I've used it so many times to prepare shows or sets where I'm able to like do full sets of samples and switch between them relatively quickly. I think the Bitbox is fantastic. Oh, that's just fantastic. I love that little woo. It does have a small screen, but it doesn't really bother me. I don't like menus, but I do feel like the Bitbox does pretty good with what it has. What's your workflow for exporting your samples out of Ableton? Well, technically, these samples exist already. So if I go show in browser, boop, right there. So what I'm probably going to do, and I hate the fact that it doesn't really name these. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to go like show in browser. I'll just copy this name real quick. Show in browser, and then I'll right click and rename. And there, it's done. I just had to do that for every sample. And then I can close Ableton. What I'll do is I'll show an Explorer here. You have to close Ableton to fuck with these files. It will not let you do anything unless you close Ableton. But there it is. It's right there. I don't have to export anything. That's the way that I'm going to do this particular session, I believe. All right. So this, Control B this. This is hesitations C. Great. C. So then we go up and we go up to there. And then this is Goo Doggy. I was talking to Goo Doggy. He's made of goo. They're made of goo. Goo Doggy. And then we go shut up. Then we go here. And then we go down to A. So just, I don't know if any of you know this, but at 10 o'clock, the premiere for the new IntelliJ module will occur. So I might go over there. Maybe I'll do it on stream. And we can chat about it. And then my videos will come out for it. Hesitations. Oh my God. Hesitate. Why am I doing this? Here we go. Jesus Christ. Advice for mastering to make sure it's not going over 1 dB and make it as loud so you can compare to other reference tracks you have. All right. So first of all, you want to use other reference tracks. You want to use other tracks as your reference for how loud you want your track to be. So get some reference tracks, bring them in to your DAW of choice, and run them and the loudest parts of them for a while, and get the LUFS reading. And then for your tracks, you use like something like a smart maximizer. I use the one in Ozone, and you maximize it. You always want to kind of like take away frequencies that don't need to be there and work with dynamics that don't need to be there. Manage your transient, stuff like that before it gets to the maximizer. And then Well, you can't compare your tracks to those on the meters. Are you answering your own questions? I don't. What's going on here? If you want to bring in a reference track that's been mastered and compare it against your own, you actually need to bring them like from a spectral mixing standpoint. You need to bring the reference track down to the LUFS level of your mix. But so using a good maximizer on your final thing and making the ceiling at -0.1, turning on true peak, which is something that will get inner sample peaks. I'm giving advice. Oh, okay, good. I don't have to talk then. Thank you so much. I don't have to talk. Ooh. That's cool. It'd be funny if this was called Jira Entity, as in the horrors of Jira. That's cool as hell. Boring. Oh, I fuck with that. What kind of tattoo work do you want? Fistful of Metal is a great tattoo shop. I really like them. Lucky Dragon is a great tattoo shop. It really depends on what kind of tattoo that you want, I guess. What are and actually sampling hardware into Ableton? Say some modular one-shots or synth chord stabs. Is there a best practice with regard to how to set the input gain staging? Black and gray. Black and gray. What though? What style? Echo Bulb, you need to figure out what the loudest sound would be that you might sample and give yourself like a dB of headroom there. If you record in 32-bit float, you're going to have a little bit more safety because it tends to not clip. So make sure you're recording at 32-bit float. That's my advice for that. And then, you know, keep an eye on the meters. If you record something and it clips, go ahead and turn it down and do it again. I like that. I'm going to do that actually. Is that right? That's cool. I like that. Let's do it again. Oh, not too many notes. I feel like whiplash here. Nope, not quite my tempo. That's cool. Doing 2 hits is a little weird, but it'll be fun. Fuck it. I don't really like this one. Geometric skulls, creepy goth metal black shit. All right, so yeah, I would recommend specifically looking for somebody who does that stuff good. You can ask Reddit for advice, but like the Seattle Reddit, like they might help. But using some Google Foo and searching for specifically like geometric's actually pretty different than skulls and creepy goth metal shit. Like the geometric tattoo stuff is like its own thing. So if you want geometric stuff, then I would start looking up geometric tattoo artists in Seattle first, because that's a specific thing. And then skulls and creepy gothic black metal shit, there's different styles of that. Like you can get black, you can get black and gray like neoclassic style stuff, which is different than other styles. So zeroing in on the kind of style that you want and then finding an artist that specifically does that style is yeah, look at portfolios. That's a good recommendation. I'm getting so tired of these pentatonic chords. Hi, Caitlin. That's kind of neat. Yeah, why not? Why not? You can have a little minor as a treat. Control B. This is called Arctic Ass Sky. Wow, it's long. Arctic Glass Sky C-min. I can't say C-min anymore. I just Jesus Christ. C minor. And then this would be Arctic Glass Sky E flat minor. E flat minor. Is anyone excited for the is there a reason I'm recording at 1:30? For today, I am focusing on 130 BPM because I like it for dub techno. And that's by Bobby Dog. And that's what these are kind of for. So it's just an arbitrary choice. And yeah, it's just an arbitrary choice. What kind of mixer, excuse me, or audio interface do you record your hardware synths into Ableton, and what bitrate do you record? I don't. Oh, it's good doggy, like as in good doggy, not goo doggy. My bad. I'm so sorry. I called you a goo doggy, and you're not a goo doggy. You're a good doggy. I don't record a lot of hardware synths. I don't use them, and I'm actually going to be selling off almost all my hardware synths because they just slow down my workflow. I'm keeping some of them. I'm keeping my Prophet X. If I was to record it, any interface would work. Honestly, like it doesn't really matter. In terms of bitrate, I personally record in 32-bit float wherever I can, because it just has that safety net of, not clipping. And then 48 is fine. But if you're recording at like 44 on 16, that's okay too. It doesn't really matter as long as you're managing your headroom and stuff like that. That's cool. That's very minimal. Are you keeping the modular? Oh my God, yeah. Modular lets me make full tracks. Like a single hardware synth just does what Omnisphere does, not as good. And I can't have 20 hardware synths all going at once, and they take up a lot of room. And I need money because the economy is not really great right now. It sounds like straight up Boards of Canada. Straight up. I guess there's supposed to be a new Boards of Canada album coming. It's a hardware synth. I was just checking. Yeah, no, modular is very dear to my heart. I could completely quit the main channel and just do the modular channel and be perfectly happy, I think. What's your take on people saying to increase the sample rate for time manipulation stuff? Really great question, and something that I never fucking think about. And I need to do some experiments with that because I have never really done it. And I think it's a really cool idea. So basically the idea is that like, if you sample something at 44.116, the highest frequency that has now been captured is 20, if you're recording in stereo. The highest frequency that's been captured now is around 20 kilohertz. So human hearing goes up to, it's 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So technically you've hit like the top of human hearing there, which is great perceptually, but what if you want to take that thing and slow it down? Well, when you slow it down, the top end of that sample rate comes down depending on how much you slow it, and you lose all of these upper harmonics as you do that. So the idea is that like if you record at like 96 kilohertz, you can slow it down and you'll still have harmonics that go all the way up to, let's say, 20 hertz or 20 kilohertz. So you get to maintain upper harmonics while doing some crazy manipulation. That's legit as hell. It's not really stuff that I have thought about doing personally, but yeah, I think it's a great idea. And if you're recording specifically with that in mind, then absolutely bump that sample rate up as much as you fucking want. Go crazy on that thing. I'm really curious what the Boards of Canada album vibe is going to be like, because from what I understand, well, just based on Tomorrow's Harvest, that album was very dark. And it was very clear that they were reacting to what they felt in the world was a very like dark time. And I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but nothing's really gotten better since then. So I don't really feel personally interested in hearing just like a new, like, ooh, it's trippy time for Boards of Canada. Like that part of my life and that part of my, just mindset is far behind me. I don't know if they're really going to decide to do a whole nother, like, dark album. I think people would be pretty unhappy with that, but who knows? But yeah, Tomorrow's Harvest was specifically like a very dystopian album. And again, things really haven't gotten any better since then. So that's cool as hell. Oh my goodness, that's fucking dope. I prefer Omnisphere for what I do, but it's not a sound design tool for me. Serum is a sound design tool, but at this point, I am a basic bitch who just wants to get things done, and so Omnisphere really works well for me. I really respect the people who spend a lot of time doing sound design, but I have never been like someone who does that. This one's called Blown Up Sub. It's what happens after the room party on the third night of the con. Oh, we gotta fuck with that. Yeah, like Soup Carrots, you make a point that it's really hard for me to say this and not sound like an asshole, but like, I don't actually want a new Boards of Canada album. I was actually very happy that they decided to, just, step away. And I just don't know how to feel about like the part of me that like wanted a new Boards of Canada album, like went away a long time ago. But that's just me. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. I'm not going to get like high on acid and do a bunch of nitrous and like fucking trip out to it like I would have back in the day. But like, I'm very curious to see what they do. Be nice to the sub. They're sensitive. They can handle it. They're strong enough to take whatever we have to give them, whatever frequencies we want to give them. Do you all of these samples into the Bitbox? I sure do. I've actually, so in the past, I have made individual sets in the Bitbox when I'm doing live sets, meaning like projects, and I'll load stuff up as each track goes by. But what I'm doing now, what I'm experimenting with, is actually live picking new samples on the fly. And so what I'm doing is like really making sure that I have like all these samples just ready to go, So I've got these folders that are like just ready to be like picked from, and I pretty much stay in one folder for each channel, like vocals, pads, textures, percussion. I'm still working on that, but the trick is know your sample library and have everything really well organized. I actually have in the sample folders, like all the pads, I renamed them in order of size. So because the bitbox will just put things alphabetically, so I renamed them. I numbered them in terms of how long they are. Sorry, microphone. So that way I know if I want a really long thing, I can reach for the ones on the bottom. If I want a really quick thing, yeah, I can reach for the ones on the top. And that's worked out pretty well so far. Obviously, these are all very long. Greetings from Iceland. Hi, Bjork. It's so good to see you.
From Iceland, we go to the bowed acoustic guitar. It's Iceland. I wear a seal's tongue in Iceland. Sigaros is my neighbor in Iceland.
Greetings from not Iceland. Yeah, same. That's cool as hell. That's really cool. Is that an Aurora reference? It's a Bjork reference. It's all Bjork. Has anyone brought up the Electron controversy? Is it a controversy? Yes, we've talked about it. I would like to know how it's a controversy. What are your thoughts on it? Let's hear it. Let's hear your thoughts, and I will give you my thoughts again. These are all boring. The Electron boxes are all staying. Yeah. No, non-Horizon. It's okay. I would like to actually, if I can during this stream, disabuse people of freaking out about this as much as possible, because nothing bad has actually happened yet. This doesn't affect the devices that you have. It doesn't affect any of the devices that Electron has already designed and are available for purchase. You should never be buying things because of what they could be. So if you're buying an Electron device because of like firmware updates you hope it has, then you've made a mistake. I'm Gen X and stuck on Human Behavior sound for Bjork. For me, I am Gen X and I get stuck on Hyper Ballad for Bjork. Human Behavior is one of the only songs written in Locrian that's a pop song. Did you know that? There is no Electron controversy. Like, nothing has happened yet. Yes, they've got a controlling stake from a, I guess, private equity firm. They now have a controlling stake in Electron, but at this moment, nothing has happened. So I urge you not to like get all doom and gloom about that shit. I just don't get blackpilled by the internet on this shit. Everybody is just like flipping out for no reason. The Digitac 2 is so good. Yeah, Boner Capital has a controlling stake in Electron. What are you going to do with these torches and pitchforks? Exactly. People just want to get really freaked out about this stuff. And it's like, please, there's got to be something else you could do. Like make music. Go make music. Are you the one making all this noise? Electron has been passed around between investors for a long time. It's hot. Electron's just a dirty little slut of a company. Got a Digitone 2, and while I'm not great at sound design on it, I usually just sample patches I make into the Digitech 2 and build tracks there. Is that the right approach? If it works for you, yeah. Absolutely. Why not? There is no wrong approach. Do whatever works for you. You know, I do encourage you to get better at sound design on the Digitone 2 because it is insane for sound design. But sampling into the Digitect is fantastic. That's great. That's cool. Oof. Can't believe we're only on the C's. What is that? Buzzlord. Buzzord. Look, they got a Buzzord in here. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the art in here is like some of this stuff is AI, unfortunately. Yeah, Arctos has been has owned a big portion of them for a while. And that's where you got things like the analog drive pedal. And you also got people leaving, like S and the guy that made the Octatrack. S is now on his own company doing fours. I know that sounds incomprehensible to anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, but S designed the Digitone. S now has a company called Fours, I believe. And then the guy that designed the Octatrack now works for AMS, the company behind the Hydrasynth. So they've already kind of like, what the fuck is this? They've already like burned bridges with a bunch of people that were part of the original Electron. I don't know what to think. Like I don't care. Like the boxes that already exist, I could make albums with for the rest of my life. Like 100%. Like I don't need any more of that. ASM, not AMS. Sorry. Yeah, Force is really, really cool. He's a really cool person. They're a really cool person. I actually don't know what their pronouns are. That's really nice. Let's do that. I just don't think it's something worth getting like mad about. You know, I think it's not something worth getting mad about. That's all. You know, there's a lot going on right now in the world, and unfortunately, or for better or worse, I've had to learn for my own health and safety not to react as much to things like this, because there's too many things to get angry about. And if you get angry about all of them all the time, you're not going to be a very happy or healthy person. And I've learned, you know, through experience that you got to let things go sometimes. you just got, you got to let things go. What did I do? F12. Oh, there we go. You got to let things go sometimes. Focus on, you know, maybe like your community or your friends, throw a dinner party, go to a park. I don't know, whatever you want to do that isn't worrying about Electron, because it's just stuff, you know, it's just stuff. And again, it already exists. Stuff already exists that rules. You know, you can go buy a bunch of Electron stuff, either new or used right now, that already rules. And you don't really need an Octatrack 3. You don't. You don't need it. I will do a video on how I incorporate these into my stuff, I promise. Do you tend to stick to one key with your music, or are you pitch shifting using different samples per song? Okay, so I talked about this a little bit earlier. I think switching, actually I didn't mention this at all. Switching key during your set is one of the ways that you could really differentiate between songs. In the dub techno set that I did for practice over there recently, almost every song I switched key, and I use the Camelot wheel to do that. If you're not familiar with this, hopefully there's nothing terrible on my screen. I think switching. Actually, shut up, Jeremy. Oh my God, who the fuck is this guy? Camelot wheel. I think it's just the circle of fifths really that I'm using. So so let's say I start my set in C minor. Where is it? Am I stupid? Chat, am I stupid? Here it is, C minor. So where can I go from here? I can go to G minor or F minor. These are really, really safe to go to. I can also go to E flat major. So from there, I can go to, B flat major, A flat major. So you can switch around these keys in very harmonically cogent ways. And it really helps differentiate between the tracks in your set. Going major minor is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. I don't have enough samples to really do that right now, but yeah, so I think when I'm playing live, I do try to switch keys, because if I don't, everything really does end up sounding the same. I don't have that much diversity going on. Oh, that's very PlayStation. That's cool. Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, the circle of fifths is really, really useful. The thing about the fourth and the fifth, let me show you this real quick. It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor's torn, the major lift. There's something in a broken hallelujah. All right, so if you have a chord, let's say it's a C minor chord. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so I am going to turn on scale. Oh, C minor. Boop. So everything in this off purple color is our scale. So we want to stay sort of in this scale. If we move out of these notes, then we lose, so to speak. So what if I want to go to E flat? If I go to E flat and I go to scale now, you'll notice that we have created an accidental, because the relationship between the tonic and the minor third creates a different note when transposed to E flat. What happens if I go to F? Look at that. We're all still in key. Isn't that fascinating? There's no accidentals. What if I go to G? Boop. There we go. All still in key. If I go to B flat, which is the minor seventh, I create a really nasty accidental. So the thing about perfect fifths and perfect fourths is that they're really easy to transpose to the circle of fifths, and I guess we'll call it the circle of fourths, when you're doing sets, because they stay harmonically connected, at least from no accidental standpoint in your set, and just in general. So that's why blues is when you go to fourth, I guess that kind of Dorian and fourth. No, I guess you go to minor. Then you can go to fifth, fourth. So yeah, it's neat. Music's neat. Do 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 boo boo do boo do do boop. That's cute. Not really a pad, but I do like that sound quite a bit. Nope. Yeah, that's called the Camelot system, the AB thing. And it's because DJs don't want to think about music theory. Like, keys, I'm a DJ. I understand letter. I'm a DJ. I barely understand letter. I have not had any issues with syncing on the Tonverk yet. And they addressed almost all my other issues. That the sync issue was fixed like a while ago. Like that was fixed like months ago. The recent firmware thing fixed a bunch of my issues that I had with it too. It's an amazing machine. It's really, really powerful. Oh, that's cool as hell. Yeah, why not? That's really neat. Good to have some like atonal stuff in here. Cycles of being. 15 minutes to the IntelliGel thing. Would you guys want to watch it together? We can watch it together. Cycles of being C minor. C min. And we go up to E flat. Wait, is that right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. Music is just counting, just different types of counting. It's all just counting. This would be E flat minor. And then from there, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's cool as hell. Dope. Get in your hole. Pew, pew, pew. You don't have that flavor of autism. Yeah, see, look at this picture right here. There's no way that is not AI. Kind of sad that they did that, but what are you gonna do? Well, that's the longest fucking intro I've ever heard in my entire life. Can we turn that down? Oh, it's because there's granular. No. That's cool as hell. Oh, that's so cool. Ooh. How can you swing an ARP? That's a really great question. Let me record this really quick. It depends on what your arpeggio you're using. What are you using for your synth? For the ARP thing? What what synthesizer and tools do you have access to? I need that answered. Distant life in reverse. C min. I told myself I wasn't going to say semen anymore, and I keep saying semen. C minor. Boop, 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 boop. E flat min. Swinging my persona. Repro 5 and Ableton Suite. Okay. So Ableton is kind of not great when it comes to swing and ARPs, and it really sucks. And I don't know why this is the case. Did I already move this? No, I did not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you don't really have a lot of choices when it comes to doing what you are talking about. Let's take a look at the different ARPs real quick. Swing an ARP. Do not swing the fox. That would be very painful, and you would be going to jail. So if we grab repro. Oh, never mind. I haven't entered my. I haven't properly. I have not properly. What's the right word? Activated my repro yet. Why am I doing this? I wanted to show you Pigments because it does have swing in its art, but let's go ahead and do this real quick. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some notes down. We'll just put these notes down, actually. Beep, boop. And we'll loop this. So it's beautiful. All right, so if we go into our MIDI effects here, we go to the Arpeggiator and then put this to 16th notes. Let's go ahead and pluck this just because I don't like that sound. Get over here. Okay. So all we can do here is go to Groove and turn on Swing 16. Interesting. That didn't do anything. Holy shit. I did not. Okay, no, you're good. You're set. Okay. So this might be a new thing. Turn on Swing 16. Now open your Groove Pool, which you can go to View. Where is it? Groove Pool, right here. All right. So your Groove Pool is where you have your grooves. This is where swing lives. So I'm going to go ahead and go down here to grooves, and I'm going to find like 16th note swing. I'm going to find, basic swing. So then I'm going to find like 16th note swing 5/2, which is nothing basically. So now, oh, wait. What? It doesn't react to this one? I thought, oh, fuck. So your global amount dictates how much swing this gets. That's incredibly stupid. All they need to do is put a fucking, like, control for this right here. No, we can't. We cannot add grooves to ARP swing, apparently. Like, I thought we could because the global amount here controls it, so I assumed it was pulling from, like, this one. But nope. It's just like, it just still like has its own concept of what swing is. It's just that this control does it. It's really stupid. So what we could also do is look for other ARPs. I'll just search for ARP in Max for Live. So probability ARP. Does this have its own swing, strum length, rate, swing? Here you go, right here. So use I believe you can use timing slider on that swing row. Wait. No, the problem is it's not looking at those. Like it's not looking at these at all. So for the Ableton ARP wasn't paying attention to any groove in here. It was just like coming up with its own concept of what it was. But probability ARP here, turn off chord, and then you can control the amount of swing right here. This is a free Max for Live device. This is what you want to use. And that would be in packs, packs, probability pack, right here. Probability ARP. So, that's the answer to your question. The ARP doesn't use the groove pool. Yeah, it's so stupid. It's so fucking dumb. But this is a better ARP. You gotta have Max for Live, though. Someone just said they were using Sweet. Someone just said they were using Sweet. If you don't have Sweet and you have Pigments, go over to your ARP, turn on the sequence, Arpeggiator, swing. I don't know why it's not picking different notes here. Anyways, that's my recommendation. Ableton is so stupid when it comes to its ARP and swing. It's like such a simple concept, and they still haven't, after all these years, fixed it. That's nice. Beautiful. The thing about these notes here, that's cool, is that this will work under a lot of things. I'm technically playing an E major thing going on here because our root note is E flat. Here's a fifth for E flat minor or E flat major, and then you got some notes up here. But if I play a C underneath it, it works that way too. You can play an A flat underneath it. Oof, that's nice. Caitlin, it changes depending on what the implied bass note underneath is. That's the cool thing. Someone earlier mentioned that bass doesn't have to hit the root note. I don't think that's true. I think the bass absolutely has to hit the root note that you want the listener to feel like is the harmonic floor. But the great thing about this stuff is that everything on top can be reinterpreted by the note that's playing underneath, which I think is cool as hell. So this will be the last one we do. I'm going to go over to the, what do you call it? IntelliGel thing. I'm making these with the intention of them going on my Bitbox Micro for ambient and dub techno. But maybe I'll make a sample pack. I don't know. I am putting a lot of work into this, aren't I? C minor. What am I doing? Stop. Dupe. And then we go 1, 2, 3. So this would be E minor, technically. Yeah. Bass root note. Bass root note. What does that mean? Bass root note. I DJ. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What does that mean? What is the bass root note? Me play bass root note. Okay, cool. We did it. let's go over to IntelliGel. We're gonna watch the oh my god, there's a mess right there. Do I have a thing? Here we go. We'll use this one. IntelliGel YouTube. Boop. Here we go. Here's the link. I'm putting it in chat. Boop. I'm gonna make myself a bit smaller. Oh, I'm locked here. There we go. Boo doo boo. I guess we can play until they start the thing over there. Bass root note. You gotta have strong bass root note to grow the bass root tree. That's cool. Oh yeah, that's great. Again, it's really good to have a diversity. We don't want everything to be like heavily tonal. That's not interesting. Question about quick question answer about turn this down. Best practice when doing sound design for sample packs, key them in middle C. In general, yes, one shots I would say do in C. Chords you might want to do in different what do you call it? Different keys for people. Go watch my video after this if you want. My video will be live after this. I should probably make it live, actually. Intel. Whoa. Zoom in. Whoa. Whoa. Boo boo boo. Boo boo boo. Boo boo boo. Boo boo boo. Oh my god. Zoom so fast. Ooh, that's nasty. My pink banner just phoned and said, don't even think about it. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, we got some garage. Big up Big up on the party. Yeah. Selector. Rewind. Ooh, what is that? A guitar? Gross. Swell on it. Calm down, Josh. Oh, that's very pretty. Wheel up signal. Oh, that's cool as hell. That is so cool. Yeah, Real Angst, I actually 100% agree with you. It's a lot. It's a very, like, focus of the patch kind of reverb. Why do birds suddenly appear every time Swells is near? Just like me, they want to be close to Swells. Oh shit, jungle is massive. I don't know about a vid for the mixer. This is all about swells. Yeah, the bucket, I like buckets too. Buckets is one of my favorite algorithms for this whole thing. That is really fun. Ooh, what a beautiful... Wonderful. Wonderful. So yeah, that video there is my main video, and then I have another one. I'm actually publishing 2 videos right now. There's a second one. Have fun, everybody. I'm gonna go do some other stuff. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's been wonderful. I'll do this more often. It gives me a chance to make samples. Bye. Take care of yourselves. Bye.